You're still with the Business Roadshow. Tailor-made IT services and innovative strategies that drive business growth are just some of the offerings of IT outsourcing firm Xentra. And here to tell us more about this is Brett Radford. He is the Chief Strategy Officer of Xentra Philippines. Brett, good to have you in the Business Roadshow.
Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, Brett, I saw on your website that Xentra really emphasizes on practical and reliable IT sourcing. So I guess, can you discuss any innovative pricing models or strategies that really set Xentra apart from other firms?
Well, I think what we've done is we've created a pricing model that fits the customer itself, the client. There is a lot of outsourcing companies that have a standard price list. Really what we do is we listen, which we think is one of the major things we have to do, is listen to the client, understand their requirements, and then fit it to the economic model that they live in. And that can be in Australia, United States, Europe, or indeed here in the Philippines. Not all models fit the same economy.
Well, I have more questions on that, but I guess first let's start that it's very interesting that Xentra Solutions both have, it's their head office in Nevada and you have like development centers here in the Philippines. How do you think does this global presence benefit your clients?
Well, I think what we've done is we've changed the dynamic. Unfortunately, in the past, the world has looked at the Philippines as a third world country, doesn't have the resources. And what we've done is we've turned that around. Now the world is coming to the Philippines for exactly the opposite reasons. The talent in the Philippines is second to none, particularly in our outsourcing business, professional services, software development. They are highly regarded across the world. So more and more companies are coming to a company like Xentra, which is 165 employees. I'm the only foreigner. And they're all here in the Philippines. So we're nurturing the talent here. We're giving different skill sets here. And what that enables us to do is transform it out into the world. So more and more clients are looking and saying, hey, Xentra, I need this application, or I need this software development, or I need this talent. Can you supply it to me without me having to go into a country like the Philippines and set up corporations and cost? So what we do is we are in control of the employees as far as their salaries, their benefits, their taxes, and the laws under the Philippines. But the client pays us in the Philippines as a company, and we then disperse it. So it's a lot easier business model for US-based or European-based companies to work with the talent here in the Philippines.
And which region or which country, I guess, continent do you see there's great interest in the talent here in the Philippines? Do you see it more in the US, in Europe, in Australia?
I think obviously the US market dominates, right? The problem in the software development and outsourcing market at the moment is not that people won't pay, it's that people don't know where to get the resources. You know, the talent in the US is very good, but it's very costly. Right? So when companies go out and they want to improve their outsourcing, or they want to improve their products or their manufacturing or apps, then they have to go into the IT department and get them to ramp it up. It's like, Xentra is like having 165 employees as your IT department. So we're constantly working with our client to build up the products and to build up what their requirements are to be more successful in the market. Stop worrying about IT. That's where we're the professionals. That's what we do for a living. And we're starting to grow and grow and grow, because what we do is we take Filipinos from graduates in Philippine universities, and we bring them into the company first as interns, give them about 500 hours of working, and then we make them trainees, and we share them across all our projects to see where they fit. Just because you're a graduate, you might have an application, you might want to work in finance. So if that's where you want to work, that's where we're going to put you, and we'll promote that.
Exactly. So I wanted to talk about that, but more in detail. I mean, you've clearly highlighted that with Xentra, you take care of your talent and you really nurture it. I guess now that you've talked about the innovative pricing models, can you tell us more on how you nurture this talent? Because it's well known that another issue here in the Philippines when it comes to employment is the need for upskilling. So I guess,
Correct.
how does Xentra address that?
Right, so as I said, what we do is we breed it from within our own company. So we bring in talent, give them updated skill sets, and then produce it on a mass scale. We have 165. Our future, by the end of 2024, is getting to the 400 to 450 outsourced people. One of the things is we've also got to look at markets overseas, have a look at Filipino corporations and go, they won't be able to afford my product because I can't have the support there. So what we're doing, and we've just done a recent partnership with Decisions. Decisions is a workflow automation software company, one of the best. And what we've done is we've invested in 12 of our top engineers, not only to do their online training, but then send 6 of them to a week's in-depth training in Australia. And our ambition is to make this Filipino company, Xentra Solutions, a nationwide brand, not only in the Philippines, but in Asia. The US market is the US market. It's a big market. We can certainly look after our customers there, but really what we want to do is turn and pivot into the Philippine market. And one of those is, as we were talking before, is VAs, virtual assistants.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, how does it fit into, Xentra's business model, you as an outsourcing firm?
It's the perfect fit. Couldn't have it any better. The difference is that there's so many people in the Philippines who work in the hospitality, real estate, finance, right? But they may work and gain some knowledge, but what we want to do is bring that into Xentra and then take that knowledge, skill set it, and then specialise the virtual assistant program into specific industries, like the hospitality, like finance. So if a client comes to Xentra and they say, hey, I need someone in the hotel industry, we're going to have 5 or 6 experienced VAs who actually worked in the hospitality industry. So it's not, some people look at VAs and think, oh, Excel, Word.
Mostly admin work.
Admin.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's becoming a highly specialised, targeted sector. And Xentra is going to position itself and invest in that VA market. And we're very serious about it because when we went out and looked for the VA talent, yes, you had the normal Microsoft Office, admins. But we were amazed at the amount of people that came to us and said, well, I've worked in the Marriott for 5 years in Manila or wherever it was, or I've worked in a finance sector or a bank.
Yeah.
And they are talented people. That's what the overseas market is looking for. They need that talent and that skill set. So we will continue. Our major investment is always going to be people.
And where does AI, blockchain, Web3 fit in all of this? I mean, right now, it is the craze. I mean, being able to do AI, it's also the same as being able to read and write. It's literacy.
It is, but it is a very specialised market, right? And it's the same as the blockchain market. A lot of banks profess to say, oh, we want to get into digital currency. Their problem is their core operation is based around core technology, not the new blockchain technology. So it's a major shift in their IT department, right? We're going to leave that sitting there for a while because what we do is we watch the market. What's successful, what is not successful, and why aren't they successful? What we do is we get into markets that are progressively going to grow with new technology but need an outsourcing model.
Can you give an example? What kinds of markets are you seeing with that kind of projections?
Well, I think the biggest one is, as I said, we did a partnership with Decisions. And the workflow automation market is where it's at. I had a discussion the other day here in the Philippines about how we could help Philippine government. And I said, look, you can't drive applications into a process that needs fixing first.
Yeah.
Right? Philippines are the greatest with technology, by the way. They're on top of the world as far as being able to use a mobile phone or anything like that. But where we lack here in the Philippines is just a little bit, there's too much paperwork. we have to automate that process first. Because if you build an application to fix a problem that's not fixed, the application gets stuck.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pivot. We've got a lot of outside contracts with overseas companies. We're going to pivot and we're going to come and we're going to offer help in these services here in the Philippines. Because at the end of the day, if you've got Philippine talent, you've got Philippine workers, you've got Philippine customers, and you're also exporting it, exporting it out into the world, but leaving the people where they live. It creates a better lifestyle for them. And that's what we're going to do. That's why we're promoting it heavily, that we're just going to build now inside the Philippines. Yeah, we're going to have contracts. We need the revenue, by the way, but that's okay. But let's take the pride of the Philippines, and my ambition is to make the Filipino worker here believe that they are the best in the world. They're right there. They're one of the tops. So if we get that belief in the market, we'll have more people come to work for us, which means we'll have more contracts, but it means we can help the process in the Philippines get out of being regarded as not third world, but third technology tiered, where they aren't. They're right there at the top.
Now you're mentioning about the Philippine process. How are you navigating regulatory challenges, compliances?
Well, we have a compliance department, and it's very important. We watch legalities very, very closely, all right? Because we do actually deal in the payments industry, which is a high regulatory-based industry. And so we constantly have our compliance department always look at what's coming out, not only the Philippines, but what's coming out in the US, what's coming out in Australia, so we can position that our compliance is set up. We also take very strong view on data security, with cyber security and privacy. And we're developing now partnerships so we can move along that, because we talked about VAs. Well, they're handling very sensitive data.
I was just going to ask that. I mean, you've already talked about the vision and plans, but then how does your cybersecurity work in protecting, of course, the data information? Because it's still remote work, it's off-site work, which a lot of people want. That's why a lot of people are applying for VAs. But how does Xentra protect, and how does it apply the cybersecurity that a lot of people really are so concerned about?
Right, and look, the private VAs, you know, the people that go online and just try to look for a job, that's fine. But every VA that we use uses one of our secured encrypted laptops. So all the information that's coming in is being stored in our cybersecurity vaults, right? And it can't be removed. So if the VA contract runs out or we have to switch it, then they can't get back in. So, and that's been one of the biggest resources that we've had to gain business, because yes, it is very sensitive. And not only that, but the regulatory bodies want to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you just can't get on and say, well, yes, we've got encryption and yeah, that's all fine. What we do is we actually prove it. And we follow strict compliance documents, and we file them and we register them, and we let the customer know that his data, his passwords, his private information is always kept very, very secure. Our data policies, security policies, are very, very strict.
Brett Radford of Xentra Solutions. Brett, good to have you with us, and great conversation.
Thank you. Salamat po.